Today we'll read the story of the sellers in the temple from the New Catholic Picture Bible. Jesus and his disciples went up to Jerusalem to attend the feast of the Passover. There, in the courts of the temple, Jesus found men who were selling oxen and sheep and doves for the sacrifices. Other men were sitting at tables, changing the money of the Jews who came from other lands into the money of Judea. All this made the courts around the temple seem like a market and not a place for the worship of God. Jesus picked up some cord and made from it a whip. With it, he began to drive out of the temple all the buyers and sellers. He drove out the sheep and the oxen. He overturned the tables and threw the money on the floor. To those who were selling the doves, he said, "Take these things away, and do not make the house of my Father a house of business." The rulers of the Jews were angry because many of them were getting rich by selling of offerings and changing of money. Some of the rulers came to Jesus and said to him, "What right have you to come here and do these things? What sign can you show that God has given you this power?" Jesus said to them, "Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up." Then the Jews said, "It has taken 46 years to build this temple, and will you raise it up in 3 days?" But Jesus did not mean the temple. He was speaking of himself, for in him God was dwelling as in a temple. He meant that when they put him to death, he would rise again in 3 days. The Pharisees and scribes were jealous of Jesus because the people loved him. He was everybody's friend. They found fault with him because he went with publicans and sinners, though they knew well he did so only to make them give up their sins and turn to God. The Pharisees came to hate Jesus so much that they planned to put him to death.